Amy.
Oh,
You better
Mr.
read it.
Vinny, I don't know who you are. Oh, do I go up? I'm not.
You're next on deck.
Thank you so much and Happy New Year to everyone. I must say, this is my first commission meeting that I've attended since I've lived in Lake Worth since 2008. I think that something has already come up and it's been addressed in regards to safety and use of our parks for everyone that lives in this community. I have to say that that was one of the reasons that my family picked this particular city in regards to, although I heard Lake Worthless, many other things, cost of utilities. It was the fact that I had 4 children and I wanted them to be able to be active and to use the parks and have access. Well, with my youngest that's at home, I've had to withdraw that recently because of the number of homeless and derelicts that are in the parks downtown. He's not allowed to go by himself anywhere in the city. And when you're talking about homeless, I've been homeless. I believe that people have an option. You have to make choices. I understand that those choices are hard. I've had to send my kids away for a time while I happen to find and obtain housing. So it is not something that is not impossible, but you have to make choices. I think the people that are living on the streets are making choices. Yes, we can offer services. There are services that are offered through county, through state. I had to take those steps myself. And it's not necessarily the best and the top choice, but it's a choice that you have to make. And if that is where you want to be, you'll be there. If you don't want to be there, you'll make other choices.
Thank you.
Alicia Vanini's asked me to read this from Retreat of Palm Beach, 420 Lake Worth Road, Palm Springs, Florida. We just wanted to thank the city of Lake Worth and community. We have a brand new high-end substance abuse treatment center opening next month on Lake Worth Road in Palm Springs. Lynn Anderson, did you want me to read this or did you want to speak?
No.
Okay. And Joanne Golden will follow.
Thank you. Lynn Anderson, 2204 Lake Osborne Drive. I first want to say thank you to Pastor Mike Olive for giving the invitation tonight. He and his church do so much for many needy people in our city. We do have a lot of homeless, and a lot of them are recovering addicts. He preaches to the alcoholics, the poor. Middle-class families go to his services. And people such as myself who have a fear of mortality. It's getting there, you know? So anyway, the people in his congregation are all wonderful. They're all full of love. And they're very appreciative of his service. So we're very lucky to have him in our city. And I hope some of you really try and attend the Common Ground Church down on J Street. It's quite an experience to hear him preach. And I think, Mayor, that you've heard him before. As far as the consent agenda tonight, 14 items, I mean, it's really, that's quite a lot on the consent agenda. Some of it really, I don't think is deserved to be on the consent agenda. It's way too important. And there should be some discussion on some of those items. So, I think we need to kind of look at what we put on consent, because these certainly aren't routine things. They're not housekeeping items, a lot of them. So I think they deserve some discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Joanne Golden, followed by Ray Gross.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Just a couple of things. One, I don't find it really transparent to have a city agenda that's 900 pages that you have to go through. It took me a while to download them, and it was just like ridiculous to have so many pages on the agenda. That it just, it's not a good thing. Anyway, I really want to say that I'm really sorry about the accident that happened by the railroad tracks yesterday, and I hope everybody is okay, and that we have some idea of what happened, possibly happened, it was a horrible disaster for the people on the train, the driver of the truck, and also for the people who were, had to be transported in other ways. The other thing is, I hope we do have charrettes for the PPK. I think that's great. We haven't had charrettes in years, and so it's a wonderful way to get people in the community to know what's going on in the city, and it's really a good idea. Also, during these discussions that happen in the future, I know we've had a lot of sort of boisterous behavior back here. It would be much better if there's a lot of people speaking, that there's no applause or comments or stuff. Just let people speak and let it happen. Let whatever happens, happens. We don't need to have, this is not a football game. This is a city commission meeting, and a quorum is expected from everybody up there and everybody back here. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Ray Gross, followed by Pat Emmer.
Hello, Mayor, Commissioners. I'm here today. I agree with what Roy was saying about problems with crime in the city.
Sorry, could you speak into the microphone?
And the microphone, okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
I usually talk, so a lot of people tell me to be quiet. Nonetheless, I'm here for a very sad reason, but I have to address this because there needs to be major change. I listened to Obama's talk today about gun control. This country has dropped into such a bad place. You know, I mean, my daddy was an MP in World War II. I've always had guns, I know how to use them. Thank God I've never had to use them. But on Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve, about, I guess it was about dusk, okay? I called because one of my neighbors across the way, I've got the last house in M Street, I'm an artist, I've been here forever. I had a very successful gallery, Lake Avenue Gallery, for 18 years. And anyway, I've had my studio on South M Street forever, bought it when I was 22, I'm older than 22 now. And you know, down in that neighborhood, it is the hood. I've seen the hookers, I've seen the drug addicts, I've seen people shooting up crack in front of me. And it's a problem. And it's gotten so bad that the police officers are scared shitless. Excuse my French, that wasn't French, was it? I called for a noise complaint, only to be greeted with a Palm Beach sheriff's officer who has no right to carry a badge or the honorable uniform of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department. I need a knee replacement, so I'm not quite as fast as I was when I was 22. So I have Weimaraners. I've been raising Weimaraners. Most of you, some of you people here know them well. We used to take them down to Brogues all the time. And for 30 years I've been raising dogs. They're incredible, grand champions. And I witnessed this sheriff, he had the gun aimed at me. Thank you, thank you. I went out to greet the police officer. My big Axel von Gross, big Weimaraner, suffered from arthritis and could hardly walk, much less run. And I witnessed him shoot 5 Glock 40 caliber Glock, shot 5 times. Okay? He lied to me. He lied to my fiancée, the beautiful Gabrielle. He lied to all his other compadre police officers, and in the end, he had to take it all back. He said the dog attacked him and bit him. The fundamental problem, the intrinsic problem, is that this officer had the lack of humanity and judgment to tell the difference between an old, arthritic 13-year-old dog that was coming out to say hi and somebody, a dog that was going to attack him.
I'm so very sorry, Mr. Gross. I'm sorry, the time has gone way beyond, and I'm very, very sorry.
I'll close with this. The biggest problem is he was a lousy shot. He hit the dog in the side and in the hip, and 3 bullets in the neighborhood, a residential neighborhood. He's shooting 40 caliber. I need help. We got a not-for-profit. It's already started.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, Ray.
Hey, did your dog?
Pat Emmer,
No, he died in my arms. Blood everywhere.
followed by Ted Parsons.
I just came up here merely to thank you for, I'm Pat Emmer, by the way, with the AFL-CIO. Thank you so much for putting our TPO on the agenda, and we really don't need to talk about. Thank you, Commissioner McCoy, for introducing it. You can take off Ted Parsons. You
Okay.
can take off Bill Donovan. Who else have we got to fill out a card? Stand up, guys. Just so you know, the labor people were here, ready to speak, but you put it on consent, and we totally appreciate it. So we're not gonna take up your time. We want to talk about fracking too, and you put that on consent, so we're happy campers. Thank you.
Michelle Sylvester, followed by Dustin Zacks.
Stay at the end.
She said, you can take off.
Good evening, my name is Michelle Sylvester and I represent the Lake Forest Business Alliance. I've spoken to you several times before, and I'd just like to remind you, my group that I represent consists of places like Polaris, Christensen Treasures, Dave's, Maritzi's ML Salon, Hummingbird Hotel, Paws on the Avenue, Nature's Way Cafe, Coastline Realty, Paradisios, Causland Paradise, McMow's, Chapin. We are businesses in your downtown area and along this Dixie Highway. We, over the last 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago, invited each and every one individually of you commissioners and the city manager to stroll with business leaders through the downtown corridor. We did this so that we would not have a problem with the Sunshine Law. Each invitation went out to you individually, and I'm pleased to say that we have conducted 3 of these strolls. Mr. Amoroso, Mr. Maxwell, and Mayor Carollo, all their strolls have been completed. I am very disappointed to say that we have not yet heard from Commissioner McVoy or Commissioner Meyer. And earlier, Commissioner McVoy said, you've had a lot of community input. Well, you've been invited, and you haven't taken us up. And we have a problem with that, because we are having problems in the downtown corridor and along Dixie. In the last month alone, we've had business property vandalized. We've found drugs in Comcast boxes behind our buildings. We have human defecation on our front stoops and on our front glass doors. We see drug deals being done and conducted by the same perpetrators over and over and over again. We see overdoses in bathrooms in our businesses, and this is an outrage. And for you to not respond to business leaders is an abomination.
Right.
So, I would urge you to pay attention to your business community. We hire people. We tend to the visitors and to the tourists here. And we are your lifeblood.
Thank you. Followed by Barbara Oliver.
Hi, everybody.
And Dustin.
Honorable ladies, honorable gentlemen, and Wes Blackman. I want to first say Happy New Year to everybody. Let's reiterate that Michigan dominated against Bowling and Michigan State when they hit Alabama. Like, say, a little brother avoiding a beating. I rise today to concur with Commissioner McCoy's consent agenda item opposing and condemning the Pacific Partnership of the Orient. I just want to say I'm also not down with this OPP. Dealing with this OPP is not a good thing. We can all agree that this OPP is not easy to explain, but we can also agree that dealing with OPP opens you up to all kinds of legal problems. You know, my old college roommate Jamal, he himself used to be down with the OPP, but he found that while dealing with the OPP might seem like a great idea for a quick buck, no one will forget or forgive you that you alone are responsible for the OPP. So it's New Year's, let's make a resolution. Let's say together as Lake Worth folks, we are not down with the OPP. And just to word to the wise for those folks running for office, please, let's recall that we don't want to touch the beaches and we don't want to be down with the OPP. Thank you.
Barbara Oliver, followed by Mary Ann Delisi.
Barbara Albel, 422 South J Street. I'm here a few weeks before the street painting festival, once again bemoan 2nd Avenue South being the worst street in the city, and we are fixing to invite the entire world in to see our street. Last time we did it, you guys sent code enforcement out to code enforce 2nd Avenue. My sister owns property down there. She got a lovely love letter from y'all. and everybody cleaned up, but we need the city to step up and pave the street or figure out another way to send the tourists through our town. It is an embarrassment to the city of Lake Worth that that is what we show our visitors. We have got to stop. If they have to drive to 6th Avenue to go, which is not a lot prettier, but it'd be better than 2nd Avenue. I'd like take my neighborhood, I would welcome the tourists in my neighborhood, but it's awful. Also, vacant properties, 427 South J Street, a long-term vacant property. It had a tag on that it was supposed to be boarded. They had till December 20th to answer. We have not yet had an answer. We've had now 8 arrests out of that building, repeatedly with the same people. The sheriff has been completely cooperative with us and helping us to get the homeless and the drug addicts out of that building, but it's a recurrent problem. It's a daily problem. We really need, they are now on the list. They have been noticed. You know, the code enforcement's been great, but we really need, whoever does the board up needs to come out and do it. Because, you know, every day, I mean, I removed the fusible link in their air conditioning system so that the homeless people stopped using their air conditioning. You know, we had the city come down, we wired the meter shut. So like they attaching without a meter, or putting the electricity back in by putting the wires in the, I don't know, magic, I don't know. No meter. So, they're using, it's a hot mess. So we would appreciate any help. And please, we've got to, Street Painting Festival is an amazing thing. We have talked about this. I have beat this goddamn dead horse forever about 2nd Avenue South. Please, we have got to step up and stop talking about things ad nauseum and doing nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ann Cleese, followed by Peggy Fisher.
Hi, Mary Ann Plessy, 1529 South Palm Way. I first want to say thank you for addressing the homeless issue. I feel very sorry for them. However, like Ruby did say, that they do have a choice in the matter. I was going to work crossing the bridge with a sheriff officer on the bridge. I had 5 homeless people block me from going over. Cars lined up behind me. I got out the car and I said, "Excuse me, could you please move?" They promptly gave me the finger. The sheriff did nothing. So I was late for work. With that being said, the homeless people that want to get help will get help. If they're addicted to drugs, alcohol, then they have a choice to make. Then that means they go through our garbage, identity theft. They go, if it gets cold out, there are stores that they go in. I don't want to use the word steal, perhaps borrow a coat. Food, they go in, they take. It's a huge problem in Lake Worth, and I do know that they're being brought into Lake Worth. I've never seen this problem before in this city for as long as I've lived here, and I've lived here quite a long time. And I hope that this meeting that's going to take place will perhaps take care of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Peggy Fisher, followed by John Yeen, I'm sorry.
Peggy Fisher, 508 North 8th Street. Again, some people will come up and don't give their name or their address, so those of us in the audience don't know who they are, and I think that's part of our rules and regulations. And as far as telling people in the audience how to behave, I don't think that's appropriate. I'm commenting on the consent agenda resolutions. I don't think resolutions should be put on this consent agenda. I think if you're going to make a resolution and say you favor or don't favor something, that the public should have the opportunity to hear each and every one of you make a comment about that, whether it's fracking, whether it's anything else. I just think that is owed to the public, that we should have the opportunity to hear everyone's opinion, not the one opinion of the commissioner who put that item on the consent agenda. As far as homeless, I've been approached downtown numerous times. I have a daughter who has been approached and had some very unpleasant things said to her. She has ignored them and kept walking. I do think it's something we need to address, and we need to address the ability for our families to use our parks. without fear for their children. I live across from an elementary school and I find hypodermic needles in my yard. I am within a drug-free zone of a school. There should be no drugs whatsoever within 1,000 yards, I believe, of a school. So we all as a community need to address the problem, whether it's homelessness, sober home, whatever, of all these drugs and issues that are coming before our community. Thank you.
I'm sorry, did I butcher that?
No, that's
I
okay.
thought it was some- John Yeno, South Congress Avenue? You left? Alexa Harrison? Alexa Harrison?
She's here.
Okay. After Alexa will be on deck, Justin Lee. Hi. I just had a point made, so if you could please state your name and address too.
Alexa Harrison, 1109 South
Microphone.
Congress Road.
There you go.
South Congress Road. Pretty much, I just wanted to address what's been going on in the park. Where the stage is and everything. We used to always go over there and hang out, and the girls would put on a ballet show and play, and it was fun, and now we can't go there anymore. There's just not a good crowd over there all the time. And Christmas, there was a group of about 20 out there. You know, she was asking questions, like, it was a little scary. And we just are looking to change that. So we can go over there and play again, and it could be fun and safe, and
I left my babies at home, but same thing. We all grew up being able to go play and have a good time, and it just seems like,
Can you
you know,
just,
it just seems as if we can't do that anymore, and we're covering our kids' eyes so they can't see, you know, what is
During-
actually going on.
during the Christmas parade, it was a ton of fun, and then a few of those people came up and approached our kids, trying to, I don't even know.
Like, they were kind of touching, grabbing at the girls.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really disturbing.
I'm sorry you experienced that.
We're just looking to get back out west. We love Lake Worth, and we just want the kids to have fun, be safe. It's like our second home over here, so just want it back out west.
Thank you very much for coming out. If everyone could please talk into the microphones when you get up there, because outside in the hallway, they can't hear it unless you're speaking directly into the microphones.
Thank you.
We've got overflow crowds, so please. Justin Lee, is there Justin Lee? Yes or no? Justin Lee? Yes? No? No? Followed by Dylan Harrison? Justin Lee, followed by Dylan Harrison? Is he okay?
It's really hard to hear.
And follow, yeah, that's why, because people have to talk directly into the microphone. Okay, was Justin here or no? He's not, okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
if I could just remind everyone, the conference room right next door is our spillover, and there are plenty of speakers and chairs for those people who wish to be more comfortable and can hear what's going on.
Okay, again, if you didn't hear that, conference room next door has plenty of chairs and spillover, and you can hear better out there, but if everyone can speak, both of those microphones work, so just try to talk close to at least one of them.
All right.
You are Mr. Harrison?
I am Dylan Harrison of 120 Via Bellagio, High Palazzo, Florida, and I am a business leader, as it was put, in Lake Worth. The word homeless, I don't know where it came from. I don't know where the word came from. These people are not homeless at the plaza. They are not homeless. So get it out of anyone's head. Okay, this is from the plaza. This is from the plaza, okay? And anyone, any anarchist, anyone who's psychos that is okay with this, if anyone, raise your hand. Raise your hand if anyone's okay with this around my children, because those are my children up here before. So if any one of you nutbags is okay with this.
Try to just, if you can, just, yeah.
Okay, sociopaths. If any one of you sociopaths, if any one of you sociopaths who won't stand up, who hides, because they don't really care about the park, they just want to get their guy in office. They don't care about this. This is what's in the park. Not homeless, not veterans, not Tom Cruise from Born on the 4th of July, because I'd be over there hanging out with the guy. There's not. Okay, it's 25-year-old tattooed up crack addicts with bolt cutters.
Thank you.
So just stop.
Thank
Y'all just stop.
Right.
Okay, this is Facebook. This is what people think of Lake Worth right here. Okay, this is Facebook. Okay, this is about, I don't know, 20 or 25 insulin syringes, which is commonly used for cocaine and heroin. And we find bags as well. I wouldn't bring a heroin bag in here, but we find them regularly. Okay, bottles of urine, beer bottles, broken glass. This is standard. This is what people think of Lake Worth. Hey, you want to come down and have some food? Y'all want to come eat at Lake Worth? You want to, yeah? All right, this is Lake Worth. Okay, I'm going to take this with me because I'm sure nobody wants to carry it. This is Lake Worth. This is what's going on. Not homeless, nobody. So any of y'all who are going to say, I'll sign off on this, all right, that's cool. Just put it on, you know, when you go for re-election, put it, I'm okay with this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Patty Lucia? Patty is going to be followed by Joseph Torres. No, I hear you. I'm just getting heads up for Joseph Torres, in case he has to come from outside somewhere. Okay.
Hi, good evening, guys. My name's Patty Lucia. I'm the owner of Mother Earth Sanctuary Cafe, located on 2nd Avenue North in Lake Worth. I would like to just say that I've been here for about 8.5 years. I'll be celebrating my 10-year anniversary in Lake Worth in March of 2017. And I really just wanted to stress that even though I'm on 2nd Avenue North, the activity that goes on downtown has a very, very big impact on my business and on my operation. I'm a little business. I'm pretty much a one-woman operation. I do everything. So when someone defecates on my front patio, before I open my shop in the morning, I'm the one out there with bleach and a broom and a hose, getting it all cleaned up so my customers can come an hour or two later and enjoy some food on the front patio. That's my life. And I gotta tell you that approaching my 10-year anniversary, I mean, I used to think when I came here, I was excited. I thought that Lake Worth was the perfect fit for my funky, quirky little cafe. And it is funky and quirky because I am. I love this town. But I gotta tell you, one of the things that I've been really thinking about, and throughout 2016, I'm gonna be asking myself some very, very hard business questions. And that is Lake Worth still a fit for me and for the demographic